are going to start talking about when to use commas and when not to use commas. We're going to be talking about some other punctuation marks, but this is a short video on when to use commas. So when we have just a sentence, a simple sentence like "it is raining" or "I brought my umbrella," we do not need commas because these are simple sentences. But if I want to combine these two, um, it is raining, I brought my umbrella. Maybe I want to say, uh, I brought my umbrella, and then I have the idea, it is not raining. And I want to combine these two sentences because I don't want everything to be just short and choppy like this. So I could use a word like but right here. Now, but is a special kind of word that we're going to be talking about in a minute. It is a conjunction. It is specifically a coordinating conjunction. By the way, when you watch my videos, I need to remind you, please take notes. I brought my umbrella is a sentence that can stand alone. It has the verb brought, who brought, I brought, subject, verb, complete thought. It is not raining is a sentence that can stand alone. This is an expression that we have in English. When I join it with one of these conjunctions, I have to use a comma. So I am going to put a comma right here. Okay? In this next sentence, he studied hard and he passed the test. Notice that we have he studied as my sentence here. He passed. So I have two complete sentences that could stand alone. They're joined with the coordinating conjunction and. And so I know that I must have a comma here. All right. Now notice though, don't put a comma every time you see one of these words because sometimes we don't need one. Notice he studied hard and passed the test. It's almost the same sentence. The only thing that's different is that I have a subject and a verb on the other side of and, so this is a complete sentence. Notice passed the test. Does that sound like a complete sentence? You're right if you said no, it's not. So notice that he studied hard and passed the test. So we do not need a comma here. So make sure you take notes on this because this is the difference there. These are called coordinating conjunctions. We're going to have some other kinds of conjunctions, so make sure that you do recognize that they are coordinating. And one thing about coordinating conjunctions is that they always join items that are equal to each other. So whatever they are joining, so if you have verb, 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 sentence, 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 we're going to have another kind of conjunction that joins things that are not equal to each other. So notice we have a complete sentence and a complete sentence. If I have a grocery list, like, oh, I don't know, apples, um, oranges, and I don't know, milk. Notice this is my grocery list. I need to go to the store and buy apples, oranges, and milk. I'm going to have a comma between each one if there are three or more. If there's just two, if I just need to get apples and oranges, uh, I am not going to use a comma. This comma we are going to use in MLA style. APA style uses as well. You may notice if you're reading a newspaper or a news article, sometimes they omit this, sometimes journalism does. But in MLA style, we will use the comma before the coordinated conjunction when we have a list of items, whether they are sentences or whatever they are. Now, I have something that you have to memorize. You must memorize the coordinating conjunctions. Now, a lot of you have already memorized these somewhere before, and you've used a acronym called FAN boys. An acronym, of course, is that first letter. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes I don't like that because sometimes students remember fanboys and they forget what it stands for. I memorized them a million years ago as and, but, or, nor, yet, so, for. You can memorize them in any order you want. If fanboys helps you, also take a look at these words. Remember that they're all only 3 letters or 2 letters long, so they're very short. We don't want to get them confused with words we're going to learn later, like because, that do something different. So really, really know these because there's only 7 of them. When we look at other different groups of words, there's big lists of them. So notice these because they're going to behave differently in our sentences. In Blackboard, I want you to know that we do have a punctuation pattern sheet. Let me see. if we are still looking at that, you can see that this sheet is going to be there. You will see that when we make this a little bit bigger, you can see that number 4 and 4A are talking about the coordinating conjunctions. Notice that the skier collapsed, but she won the trophy. Notice I have some examples where we do not use commas with these, and we're going to be adding these different kinds of situations in another video. But for right now, know about the coordinating conjunctions, and there is one quiz for you to take on this information, and there's also a practice quiz.